Well, my name is Idalia Luna, and I'm originally from Miami, Florida. And so I went to school at Homestead Senior High School in Homestead, Florida. So it's about 35, 45, depending on traffic, to the beach. In my mid-20s, kind of like 24, I was going through a process in my life, and I had family that had moved to Hopkinsville. I thought it was a good time at the time for me. I was a single mom with one child. I gave birth to my daughter at 20 years old, and I started just to weigh that on the scales. And I made the decision to come to Hopkinsville and try it out for a couple of years. And so I've planted roots here. I have 2 more kids, so I have a total of 3 kids, and I just love Hopkinsville and all that it offers. I had a lot of jobs. I started in fast food, while I was in high school, and that taught me time management. It taught me the ability of teamwork. It also gave me a sense of pride because I was working and I was earning money, and I didn't have to ask my parents because I grew up poor, so I didn't have to ask, for money to be a part of an extracurricular activity. I worked for it and I joined it, and that, to me, I gained value out of that, and it taught me a lot. I remember we had summer programs in high school, and so literally even before my fast food job, I worked for the Department of Children and Families and was just filing and doing data entry for the child care programs, so people that were needing child care assistance. I was helping with those application process. So that gave me hands-on what the taste of an office setting was like, because beforehand we were taught in my family that learn a service trade, either learn how to clean really good, learn how to wait, do wait staff. We always had the goal and the aspiration, you could be a nurse, never a doctor, So the goal was that. And even so, in my household, my mom never graduated from high school. She had a GED, and she got it after she had me and my brother. So she was a high school dropout. And so for me, the pressure was, or the goal was in our household, was to be the first one to graduate, from high school. That was it. And so there was no plan after that. So my goal was graduate high school. But what would I do next? And so that was the challenge. And that was one of the biggest questions that I had to deal with all 4 years in high school. What's next? What's the plan? If I could do it again, I'd have that freshman orientation mentality all 4 years, just to be gun-ho about what you want to do. Also went to school, to the National School of Science, National School of Technology in Miami, Florida, and I learned a trade. And so in 8 months, I was a massage therapist. And so I worked at a chiropractic office. I worked at a hotel. So I've done that. I've also have been a clown on the weekends, painting faces. In Miami, let me tell you, this is why I chose Hopkinsville. In Miami, in order to make it, you had to have a certain income bracket because the cost of living is so high. So you got to look at that. You got to look at, where am I going? What type of career am I going to get? And can I afford to live in that city? In high school, I thought I'm going to go military, because military family. We've all done military. Either you did service industry, and I wasn't thinking about being a maid. So I thought, okay, so my other option is being military. So I did JROTC for 4 years in high school. And I thought I was going to go Marine. I thought, I'm going to become an attorney. And so I thought that was my goal. And when I got out of high school, I realized, I may not want to do that with my life. So I took a course in medical records, and that's when I started working in the medical records department at the hospital that I was born in Miami, South Miami Hospital. And so I was working there. Then I started to go to school for massage therapy at National School of Technology. And then that's when I really saw that I could be an entrepreneur. I can run my own business. I can get my own clients. And so I started to do that fully. And then I decided to move to Hopkinsville, and that changed my whole world, because I knew if I stood in Miami, I was always going to work those 2 jobs to make ends meet for me and my kid. And And that wasn't a life either. I wasn't really fully living. I was just working a lot. And then I realized, I took a hard look at myself and I realized I'm doing what my mom was doing, working 2 to 3 jobs to make ends meet, to live in a city that everybody wishes to live in, but I didn't have the career that was giving me the salary that I needed to live there. And so I had to really take a hard look at what I wanted to do. So when I moved to Hopkinsville, I started to go to, well, I had to wait for a while because you have to be a resident and all that, and I worked as a massage therapist. I worked in chiropractic offices. I worked in beauty salons here within my trade as my massage therapy. And so I started to do that for about 6 months to a year here in Hopkinsville. I decided to go back to school and I enrolled into Hopkinsville Community College, where I thought I was gonna be a nurse. I thought I was gonna take my hands-on approach of massage therapy and incorporate that into nursing. I realized really quick that nursing is not for me. After the human anatomy class and then taking this CNA class, and my mom now is a nurse, I thought, ooh, I'm gonna be a nurse too. I realized when I went to do my internship as a CNA, that wasn't for me. When I went to Murray, I realized it's public administration that I really am good at. It's so easy. Something clicked within that time frame of my teens to my mid-20s. Math clicked. So I've been in customer service, international customer service representative, dealing with sales. I worked for USA Logistics as accounts receivable. So I was doing math. Math was like my thing. So when I came to Hopkinsville and got hired on at the city, I was hired on in the finance department, and I was like, ooh, I'm counting beans, I'm doing numbers, I'm doing math. And I was so proud because here was this girl from Miami who hated math, who flunked it so much, who had to go to night school just to pass, was doing math. There was an opportunity for me to transfer to be the executive secretary of the mayor for the city of Hopkinsville. So I applied, I did the interview, and I was offered the position. And so now I am the executive secretary for the mayor of Hopkinsville. Here's the thing, take advantage of the classes that are offered. There was non-credit courses that I took at the community college, even while I was taking my classes, that assisted me in business writing, that assisted me in learning how to excel in Excel, you know? And of course I wasn't getting credit for it, and I paid for those classes out of pocket. It was a small fee, but it gave me the skill set that a class that was teaching me at a fast pace, I couldn't get it. And this helped me to really fine tune it, give me a little background on business writing, business management. It allowed me to get these stronger skill sets that the classroom didn't provide. And you know what? The interesting thing is, you don't have to be a high school graduate, you don't have to be a college graduate. You could be a citizen in here in Hopkinsville and just go and apply for these non-credit courses and improve your skill sets. And that's what I did. I knew that my experience is what was gonna push me further in my career path. It was not going to be what I learned in the classroom, if that makes sense. It's helpful, but it doesn't give you the training. And when you take these non-credit courses, that gives you skill sets, that shows you, that walks you through that process, and you get that certificate and you're like, okay, it's not a diploma, but you can, with boldness and confidence, say, I'm certified, I know this software, I know how to work it. That to me is better than a paid tuition class. If you're looking at making money and getting a salary and being able to sustain, you need that skill set too. I remember we had a career and college counselor outside of our guidance counselor. And I only met her 3 times. I met her freshman orientation, I met her sophomore, and I met her senior year. I didn't see her junior year at all. And the 2 times that I saw her, my freshman and my sophomore, was in a group setting. I only saw her individually on my senior year. And she handed me, you're not going to college, here's your other options for you. And she was the one that was telling me to do some skill sets and do the non-credit courses, which was helpful looking back now, but she was a barrier. She kind of was a person that said, you know, you're not going to make it, you're not that type. How dare she? So looking back, the only thing I would do is I would overstep my pride and speak up and be an advocate for myself. And if you think that you want to do something, speak up loud enough so that an adult can really take you serious. Don't be rude about it, but speak up for yourself and say, give me the information for this career. Give me the information for that career. I don't care about your tests. I don't care about what you think I should be when I grow up. I want to know, give it to me. Give me the information and let me make that choice for myself. Don't automatically assume what I need to be because your test doesn't reveal it all. Your test doesn't reveal the heart, the passion that we have as people to pass, to succeed in that. And so my pride was the only thing that I probably would change. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Don't be afraid to work. I think a work ethic speaks louder to me than any certificate that you can hang or degree that you can hang on the wall. Work ethic is important, and you know, I'm third generation here. My grandmother migrated from Puerto Rico here. My mother was born in Puerto Rico. I was born here in the United States. And so what I'm going to tell you is work ethic, because my grandmother, she couldn't read or write in either English or Spanish, and she worked hard. My mother didn't graduate from high school, but she went back and got a GED. But work ethic is the foundation that I have. So if you're willing to work and get your hands dirty, and C average student in high school got on the dean's list in college, was the who's who in community college, and is rocking a 3.4, 3.5 honor roll student in college, then you could do it. So just put work. You have to have that work, that hunger, and that passion to just go forth and get what you want. And don't let anybody tell you that you can't, because I'm here to tell you that you can. And in Puerto Rico, we say "si se puede," and that means yes, you can. So "si se puede."